Talk Nation, scrappers, scrapettes, recyclers, planet lovers, and everybody else. Well, my kitchen table is almost clean. I have been busy getting my basement workshop back together. I'm very happy about that, and making big progress in the basement and in the kitchen. I ordered my appliances yesterday, finally. Really good Black Friday sale, and thanks to the fact I sold a crap load of e-scrap, yeah, those are good. It was a really good deal. They had a Black Friday special. They were combining everything. I mean, I walked out with a dishwasher, a fridge, and an electric stove. Remove, install, the works for $3,000. I mean, the refrigerator alone usually costs that. But I paid up front. I paid cash for it. No financing. I don't want any more financing. So, hi Tammy. Good morning, Scott. Good morning. So, I just wanted to jump on for a little bit this morning. I had a really bad night last night. I think the ibuprofen that I took might have had caffeine in it, and so I am not sure how much longer I'm going to keep cranking here before the fact that I got no sleep last night kicks in. But I got school runs this morning, and first and foremost I'm going to show you Dennis's box. Dennis ordered a box from us last night. Thank you, Dennis. Dennis is one of my bestest customers. For those of you who don't know, I do buy, sell e-scrap. I am in the process of educating myself to be an expert in the area of vintage computers. Now I'm missing something from Dennis's box here. I'm missing the RAM. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me go find Dennis's RAM. Well, it's here somewhere. So Dennis ordered a high-value gold content box. Here's the RAM. I thought I'd show you what goes into a $99 box. And of course, for those of you who have purchased from me, you know I always add extra in for my subscribers. Always have, always will. Guys, please don't forget to hit the like button. It really, really helps the channel. But what I do is, I do sell e-scrap to assorted vendors. I do have one of my subscribers here who I'm very happily working with, getting my first load of e-scrap ready for him. And I will be getting a video about that later, but I've got to do school runs, so I wanted to show you Dennis's box. So this is something I did put in the box. Goldfinger RAM is just completely insane. I've been listening, I just got done listening to the iScrap app, and they were talking about copper pricing, and my yard was at 3 1/4 the other day. I did not sell it. I saved it. I'm holding it. Rockaway is paying, I think, 4 1/4. I think it's going to hit $5 again. The bottom line is nobody really knows. But in listening to Shark Scrapper and Scrapping Irish the other day, the general opinion was apparently scrap yards have this disgusting habit of lowering their copper prices in December. They know a lot of people cash it in, so they drop the pricing down, so they make a little extra money. Some yards, not all yards, I mean, you know. All right, so it's kind of a not nice thing to do. I tell you, I'm kind of following the same shtick that I do with my stock market, which is if something goes up, I sell half. So I've made some profit without losing the thing that's generating income. That's why if it goes down, I don't lose it all. And I'm kind of following that same pattern in my e-scrap. All right. A little different format with the camera this morning. All right. So this is gold-fingered RAM. Oh, excuse me, silver-fingered RAM. You've got good silver recovery, silver fingers. It comes out of older vintage computers. I'd say late 80s, early 90s. You should get really good gold recovery under these chips, and certainly silver recovery. It's a little bit cheaper than gold-fingered RAM, and I did include it in this box. This is very specifically a box of high-grade material for gold recovery. So there is a half a pound of silver-fingered RAM. I got those out of Apple computers, NEC computers, and that's pretty chunky. And there's really good gold flashing on these. So there's about half a pound here, and I always wrap my e-scrap really nicely. This weighs like nothing, so that's in there for gold recovery. Nice gold fingers there, and there should be some good value under the chips. Like I said, clean gold-fingered RAM is just out of sight right now. And I'm actually, that I am holding. I hate to sell RAM, but I honestly have to tell you, selling e-scrap paid for my kitchen, so, you know, thank God in heaven it was there. I mean, it weighs nothing, but look at the silver fingers on there. Alright, so great silver fingers. You can see really good gold and silver flashing, and there should be good gold underneath. Alright. So there's about a half a pound there, about 25 sticks, give or take a little bit. I'm going to wrap that up so it doesn't become RAM dust. And then I'll put a thing of packing tape around that after so they don't fly over the box. You know, whoever I ship through is just going to toss the damn thing, so you've got to make sure you protect it. I mean, it's much more fun for the buyer to take it apart than it is for it to arrive broken already. These are Xeon Silvers. I had more of these. I think I might have sold them. Sadly, they only sell as a pinless CPU to most board buyers, and unfortunately that's what I would buy them as well. But they do have higher gold content than your regular pinless CPUs. There are 2 of those in there. These should be really good gold recovery for him. There's nice gold finger flashing on the end. And these are actually pinned. So this is an Itanium CPU. Itanium 2003. But the pins are pretty good on there, and there's certainly great gold flashing there. This should be a good. And I always follow up with my buyers to find out if I was right and if it is good for gold. If I screwed up, which I haven't yet, but I could. I will always make good on it. I'll always, and you know, I take care of people. If you go to my store, you would see that my feedback is very good. I know enough about gold refining to know what refines well, but I do not do gold refining. It is not in my comfort zone, not by any way, shape, or form. This is a $99 box, where somebody just went by on the questions. This box is $99. I took pictures of everything, I listed it, and as I said, this box is sold already. Dennis, if you're on, this is your box. Carolyn, good morning. I'll tell you guys, I'm selling out faster than I can keep it in the store. I've never seen anything like this. Just absolutely insane. So there are 2, 4, 6, no, yeah. 1, 2, 3, I thought I had more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one more around here somewhere. There's 8 of them. 8. Look at the gold flashing. I mean, that's a great piece. So I know enough how to sort them and make them available to people who subscribe to our channel or anybody else who's interested. I'm working on my new website, which is going to be thecomputerscrapper.com. I do own that domain, and I do have the website up, but I haven't quite gotten everything listed. I think I'm also working on a TikTok shop. Dave Donahue, good morning. So that is the Itanium chips. You know, do your research, guys. You know, go online, see what they're selling for. Take a look, you see, ask people. You know, do your homework. These are Apple slot processors. I had 2 Apple all-in-ones that we took apart. Most of my companies that I sell to, my people I sell to, they sell them at the same price as gold-fingered RAM. So those are slot processors. These, if you try to say up of a pound of them, you'll be saving for 1,000,001 years. These are beautifully gold-pinned CPUs without a metal back. So this is a pin CPU, no metal back. This would go into a large plastic socket motherboard, an AMD board. I would say these are Pentium 3s. I probably have Pentium 3s, I think they're all probably Pentium 3 because I got a lot of old computers all in one box. Pentium 3, it should have a date on it. Definitely pre-2020. Pre-2020 is going to be your best gold recovery. And so we put 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking for a date. By the way, guys, I will repost this on my other channel. I should be under an hour with this live, so I'll be able to repost it here on TikTok, which will be really great. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps the channel so much, I can't even tell you. If you're interested in computer recycling, boards, anything along those lines, I'm your gal. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. 7. And like I said, I kind of put these together. 8. But look at the gold pins on here. They're very, very light. They sell for pretty good money by the pound. But you know, try to get a pound together. It'll be next Christmas already. So for me, it made more sense to put it into a good box of gold-bearing material. Wrap those up. I'm gonna need a bigger box. This is an Intel Celeron chip, and again for value, I did put 4 ceramic chips in here. And again, they were all pictured. You know, when he opens the box or anybody else opens their box, it's going to be exactly what I told him it was going to be. I'm getting my hair done today, guys. I'm going to look gorgeous next time you see me. Alright. So those are ceramic chips. I don't know the price offhand, but these don't have the big gold chunks in them like the other ones do. I'm saving those. I got a lot of them. I really don't want to sell them. I've got a really pretty chip collection. And I don't know. Thank you, those of you who are hitting the like button. Don't forget, and thank you for the assorted things that are coming across for the gift badges. That's really awesome. Thank you for that. Not necessary, but certainly very kind of you. I do appreciate it. And like I said, this all just has to go into a bigger box. What I do is I'll wrap these, and then I'll put packing tape around them. Otherwise, your e-scrap arrives in itty-bitty bits. These are iCore chips, but they're older. That's a Pentium. That doesn't even belong there at all. Intel Core i3. So i3s and a lot of the i5s no longer have any resale value as far as a working chip. Most of your iCores go into what you call a test and buy program. They will test them to see if they work and pay you much better than scrap, which is really kind of nice. But Obi-Wan Kenobi says there's a lot more gold in these than there are in these. These are your regular pinless CPUs, Duos, Pentiums, Core, not anything that's a non-iCore. And they went to these probably in the early 90s, or later 90s, excuse me. See if I can see a date on here. 2006. And they went to these as opposed to the other ones I just showed you in an attempt to cut down the amount of gold that they were putting into the machinery. It's expensive. So I put a couple of iCores in there. Like I said, I was told by several scrappers that, now this is an i5 2400, which I think was just scrap value. I don't think it was I don't think it qualified for test and buy. And if it did, well, great. It's just another pinless CPU, a pin CPU. This is an AMD pin CPU. I mean, look at the gold on there. You all you gotta do is heat this up and just, in case you missed it the first time. Yes, you're absolutely right, Star Shopping, absolutely. Some of the i5s still sell pretty well. The i7s, I don't know, I think like $10 each, give or take a little bit. And yes, of course, the i9s are way up there. So those are in Dennis. So that is Dennis's box. And because Dennis is one of my subscribers, I am also sending him a box of goodies. This is all gold bearing material. Gold and silver, rather. This Mylar's in here, this gold tapes. And that's just some extra for Dave. Yes, also to cut down on the pins being bent and making the CPU useless. Yes, don't forget, I get a lot of this stuff from scrap, so a lot of times people have sent them to me. They're already beat to garbage. I'm very careful when I'm taking apart a good-looking computer, a clean computer, a newer computer. I'm extremely careful how I handle the iCore CPUs. Very careful. I sell a lot of things for parts. Just in a nutshell, my scrapping strategy. Basically, I try to sell the computer whole. If I can plug it in and test it and it works, I'll sell it whole. If that doesn't work, I'll take it apart. I'll sell the graphics cards. I'll sell anything that's sellable. If that doesn't work, then it goes into scrap. So I don't take them all apart and just scrap them. I try to resell what I can. I've done very well with reselling vintage computer parts, but I always sell them as non-working items. I have, some of them I can't test. I don't have boards, I don't have monitors. I don't have everything I need to do that. Okay, so that is Dennis's box. It was really fun the other day. Dennis happened to hop on when Patrick Williams had his live on. It was really very nice speaking with both of them. What else is on tap for today? I wanted to address iCore boards. I think right now iCore boards are the bane of every scrapper's existence. You can tell an iCore board by this is rectangular as opposed to square, and you have this funky yarn. Most of the newer computers will have some type of an iCore. If you were to look at this board overall. We used to sell these a year ago as a metal socket motherboard, but the problem with selling it that way for the scrapyard or for a buyer like myself or BoardSword or SellYourBoards.com or any of those places, I would actually say Taro. Scrapping Irish did a really good video on that the other day. I would hashtag gold from electronics or gold from TVs. I don't do those. I stick to computers. It's my comfort level. I suppose if I ran out of computers, I'd scrap some TVs. But I would definitely go on and look to see what's there first. Old TVs, really old ones, they got great copper in them. But they're not the safest thing to take apart. So there's plenty of videos out there. You said smart TVs. Yeah, there's some gold in there. Not oodles. You don't gotta get rich scrapping TVs, but again. So iCore boards, what they did is they changed all of the grading on boards this year. This now is in a category by itself. Last year I would have sold this as a metal socket motherboard. However, if you look at this board, there's not and you were going to scrap this board, right? You, me, anybody. I would look at that and say, well, that board's a piece of crap. There's no gold banded BGAs. There's only a silicone flip chip. There's gold here, here, and here. You can knock these off and get the gold out. You definitely want to make sure you do that. Now, I'm not going to do that because I've sold this. A lot of boards are sold to a board buyer, and that board buyer, number one, he probably is going to watch my video because he's one of my subs. But that board buyer, and that would include me if I was buying boards too, is going to look at this and you're going to expect certain things to be there. For example, if you look to cut this off, right, and get the gold out, take it for the gold, you've now devalued this to a low-grade board. You're not going to get $2 a pound. You're going to get 40 cents a pound if you devalue this board. There's just nothing here. There's nothing on it. There's nothing to nip, as we like to say. If you didn't care about that and you were just going to sell it as a low-grade board, there are some things you can actually find on here that are somewhat scrap-worthy. Silver crystal banded oscillators. Now, I did not take anything off of this board, as I said, because I am selling it to a board buyer. He's a good buyer. Goodbye. And he buys a lot of stuff from me. So these are gold band crystal oscillators. They're really good for silver content. Very easy to take off a board. There's usually a couple on here, but I've got a jug full of those, and also those by the pound where I get a pound. So there'd be good silver recovery there. Ouch, what did I just step on? The other place you will find gold, and I left these plugs on purpose because if you're scrapping iCore boards, the gold pins are not of the greatest quality, but the good ones you're going to get are going to be any place that a wire plugs in. There's gold here. If I was going to scrap out this board and I wasn't selling it, I would take those. Any place that something is plugged in, you're going to get decent gold pins. They're not fantastic, but I wouldn't throw them away, not with the price of gold. What I do is I take these and I put the pins all in a jug, but I have them separated pre-2020 and post-2020 because the pre-2020 pins are much better. Like this is so light on gold it actually looks silver. It's probably just brass. These are a little bit better. I would take those if I wasn't selling this to to somebody who is a good buyer. I'm going to leave that for him. He's got to get some value for his money. These were not great. I wouldn't bother nipping those, but definitely this one. Just look at them. If it looks silver, don't bother. You would knock this off and try to get the gold out. I'm going to tell you, the gold recovery is not great on here. Yes, you can see gold in all of these slots, and anything where you plug a card in or a RAM in, yes, it's going to have gold. So that would be something you would knock off and scrap out of here. This one is good for gold, and I left these on purpose so that I could show you exactly where we were going for. Hi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. How are you this morning? And there's some gold here. They're not, again, these being, the newer the board, the less gold is going to be on the board. The boards that are pre-2020, those are your good boards. The 1990 boards, 1980 boards, oh Maria, they're amazing. So I wouldn't just completely, throw the baby out with the bathwater on these. I would definitely check the connectors. Any that look gold, I would go ahead and cut those and keep them. A little bit of heat on there, and you can just pull them out with flush pliers. Like I said, I'm not going to depopulate this board because it is going to a buyer. He's one of my subscribers, and I want him to get maximum value for the board. If you depopulate it, I mean, you could certainly cut this stuff out right here. There's some gold here, if you wanted to try to, if you were to process this board, you'd have to completely depopulate it and then, of course, soak it in its chemical bath. But you have to get everything off. Scorpion Metals is doing something of some interest. He just got a shredder machine, and it's going to be interesting to see what he's doing with all of that. Yes, silver has gone up as well. You're not kidding. Everything's gone up. I don't know what to make out of it all. I really just don't. I'm going to keep just doing the thing here. I'll be slowing down for the holidays, getting the tree up and getting ready. I just bought new appliances. Those of you who follow me know I'm dealing with the aftermath of a terrible flood. Fighting with the water company and fighting with the insurance company. But we're getting out from all of that. I've got a nice new bathroom. I went and ordered my appliances yesterday, ordered my kitchen, and ordered the floor. That'll all be installed after the holidays. So I'm moving the workshop back down to the basement. That's this week's project, and I get my kitchen back. So yeah, we've been busy around here. So don't totally discount these iCore boards, even though they're paying $2 a pound right now at most yards. At most reputable yards. Yards that don't know what they're doing are gonna insult you. Okay. So along with these iCore boards, they have now graded, and I am going by what BoardSort does, and the reason I'm going by BoardSort, everybody follows BoardSort. You want to know about boards, you want to know how to grade them, want to know what they're worth, BoardSort has videos up on everything. They're first to the table. So this one is an AMD board, and for the same reason, there is no value as far as chips on the board. There's a silicon flip chip, and that's it. It's a rubbish board. But you're going to find the same thing. You should be able to get good gold pins right off the edge here. These are good. I would take those if I weren't selling it to who I'm selling it to. There's another flip chip under here. If you were stripping the board, you would take all of this off. There would be gold in here. There'd be gold, gold, gold. But this is decent gold. These are a little bit older, these AMD boards. But in the absence of gold-banded BGAs, they're now in the same category as iCore boards. These I do take. That's the only thing I really take because whatever you get paid for these is just not what they're worth. Tantalum capacitors are also really good. But I'm not going to take any of the gold off here. Like I said, this is a buyer who I like, and this is for demonstration purposes more than anything. These have silver, guys. I'm going to sell these by the pound too when I get enough. I'd rather sell it to somebody who does gold refining. I'm not a gold refiner. It's just, it's not my comfort zone. There's really good gold right here. You can't really see it on camera. But so you want to make sure you get some value for yourself. Get the gold pins off these lower graded boards, and just make sure you get those. Great. So what else do I have for you today? Let me go get one more set of boards. Let me show you these one more set of boards that I am going to sell today. I am selling them to sellmyboards.com. He is one of our subscribers and follows our channel. And so I'm working on this for Zach. This is going to be Zach's box. What you'll find as you're processing all these boards is you're going to kind of come up with a generic average for the box itself. In other words, don't sell all the crappy stuff to your buyer. That's a good way not to have a buyer anymore. All of these came out of servers. These are classified as multi-socket server boards. I'll probably take that piece of aluminum off. Don't know. A lot of these are older. And these have gone up to almost $10 a pound, which I think is outstanding. So I've made the decision to sell as many as I can. Make sure you take the batteries off if there's a battery on it. But this is a decent board. The problem is, to sell these to you guys who are home gamers, it's expensive to ship. So I really, if you're in my local area and you wanted to buy these, yeah, well, come in. I'll have them for you, but I'm not going to ship them because you're going to wind up not making any money. But to a refiner, to a yard, to a board buyer, they sell these by the freaking ton. Yeah, so it's worth my time to ship it to them, and they're going to get good value out of the board. So let me just show you some of these. Some are always going to be better than others. The apples are a big disappointment. They were not great. This one is an HP from 2006. This is a system board. I have to take that battery off. You can't ship with the battery. So this is a system board. This would have been from a cash register or something along those lines. But look at the difference. Look at the gold in this as compared to that. But these have gone up to almost $10 a pound, so yeah, definitely time to cash out some of those. I'm curious as to is anything good under here. Another way to check is, look at that. It's a beautiful board. If you were, if like Scorpion Metals is shredding all this stuff, he's depopulate them and he's putting it through a shredder. He's doing some work with that. I'm interested to see what he'll actually do with that. But this is a fantastic board for gold and copper recovery. You can tell by the color. Gold flashing everywhere. Really high quality board. Very good board. Back in the day. Now you look at them, they're all plastic. Would this be worth shipping to a home gamer? No. Because again, it's going to cost $1 a pound to ship it, and it weighs about 5 pounds. Where's the value? But if you had this, or you got a server to scrap, look at that. These are good. It's gold recovery here. There's a lot of chips on here. Gold here. And just the board itself, to a refiner, this is a good board. Sometimes you can flip these over and really see a lot of gold. Not so much on here. There's a lot of MLCCs, a lot of ICs, things like that. But yeah, if you were going to depopulate this, you'd, with the air chisel, and then, you'd put it through a shredder to get the gold and copper out. These are tantalum capacitors. Again, I am leaving them on because of my relationship with this particular buyer. But also, I know along the line, some of the boards I'm going to send, not because I'm trying to cheat them, some are not as good as others. The newer boards, there's no comparison. So, of course, I'm going to leave him the good boards and make it all kind of average out, Those were really nice. I gotta remember to get the battery off. I bundle these up in 10-pound packages. I bubble wrap them. I mark it, whatever the weight is, and I put them on the shelf because it's just easier for me. And then he likes them boxed in lots of 20, which I also do. This is a nice chip under here. This is a Dell 2007. It's not as densely populated, but that's still a good board for gold recovery, you know. But again, for me, I'm going to sell it to a buyer, a board buyer, just like it is. I'm not going to take anything off. A lot of really good gold here. There was another the power supplies went here, and they plugged in here. Any place where your power supplies plug in, you're going to find good gold. Again, for me, I'm going to leave that for my buyer, because they're going to sell it to somebody who's going to throw it through a shredder machine, and I'm just leaving it for the buyer. As I said, he's a very good buyer. I think I'm working on building a relationship with him, and I'm certainly not going to. I'm not going to stick to him, because some of the other boards aren't going to be as good. So offset it. Make it a good box. This is a good board. Again, here's a gold banded crystal oscillator, tantalums, both of which have gone quite a bit up in price. I will take that off, and I will take the piece of aluminum off. Those I'll take. Decent board. These are older. It's another of the same. I think this is another. But look at the color. If you were to scratch this with a file, you would really see copper, not plastic like you're gonna. And you can feel the difference. These weigh nothing. It's all plastic. But this isn't. This is good gold and copper recovery. These were very well made. You could take a gold band crystal oscillator if you wanted to. I would take the aluminum. Look at the gold. Gold banded BGAs. Tons of them. That's a great board. And yes, I know, I have to take the battery off. I will. I always take them off. When I'm packing up my lot of 10, I do that. This looks like another HP system board. Gold. Lots of gold here. Again, if I was nipping, I would definitely take these. Like I said, for this particular buyer, no, I'm not going to do that. If I was going to sell it to the scrapyard, yeah, I'd be nipping like crazy. But they can downgrade your board. If you take all the value off the board, just suppose, I'm not going to. Suppose I took all this off. All this off. He gets a plain board. Do you think he's going to pay me dual socket motherboard at $10 a pound? No, he's going to give me 40 cents a pound, and rightly so, as a low-grade board. So those are very good for gold recovery. Do your shopping. Yeah, dual Xeon boards, very popular. Xeon was a good chip. I'll tell you though, boy, I don't know what happened over at Intel. Intel used to be the go-to. And as I've been studying this history of older computers, Intel and IBM blew everybody out of the water on the advancements in boards and board development. They just kicked everybody's butt clear to here and there and back. But now they can't get out of their own way, and they're still having trouble. They're having a lot of trouble with the new generation of boards. I will take the aluminum. Aluminum is pretty pricey right now. I've got to get a little something. But this isn't hurting my buyer to take the aluminum. Not in this case. Aluminum is up, silver is up, everything's up. Always cover this and cover your face, because these things are on a spring. It can pop right off. That shouldn't really hurt you. This should be a gold banded BGA under here. Might be a flip chip. Let's see. Inquiring minds want to know. Flip chip. It's just silicone. Yeah, I'll leave that one. So that's a little bit about what I'm getting ready to ship out this morning. Where's the best place to sell the boards? We have a subscriber here on TikTok. His name is Zach. He has a website, and his yard is called sellmyboards.com. He's very, very good. He's very honest, and He's got some great scrapping videos on too, so scrappyboards.com. I'll give him a shout out. He deserves it. Very, very nice young man. Really, I enjoy speaking with him, and he's funny as heck. That's where I would send him. I think a lot of it, though, to answer your question, is where do you live? You know, you can go online and go research online board buyers. I mean, there's tons of people out there who buy boards. If you want to get the pricing, well, it's going to be Board Sort, because everybody just follows what Board Sort does. So, okay. So I will wrap these into 10-pound bundles, packing tape, mark them 10 pounds, 11 pounds, 12.5, whatever it is. And I usually put 2 bundles per box. He likes them to be around 20 pounds. I have to just see what it's going to be shipping-wise. And I can't lift that much. I can't lift big, heavy boxes. You got to be careful, though, when you're shipping boards, because you can get hit with an oversized shipping charge very easily. So anyway, that is today's spiel. I hope you enjoyed. This is short enough that I'll be. Oh, you're in New Zealand. Oh, you should check Mint Innovation, MINT, Mint Innovation. They just opened a plant here in the United States, in Texas. Shark Scrapper speaks well of them. But they are in New Zealand and Australia. I would definitely check that. Yeah, definitely check that. MINT, Mint Innovation. You're going to find more and more companies coming in with e-waste recycling. I mean, the e-waste problem in this country is unbelievable. You know, we used to put it on a barge and ship it to overseas. And those days are gone. You know, it's got to be recycled. Where are they going to get all the things to make new AI? Where are they going to get the gold? Where are they going to get the palladium? All this insanity with tariffs and this and that. We better mind our P's and Q's and make sure we keep enough supply on hand domestically, or we're going to be in trouble. Who knows what's going to happen day to day around here anymore? No one knows. All right, just make sure you got to get the battery off. These I take to the transfer station like every day. I take the lithium batteries, and I take those. I get those out of the house right away. I don't want them around here. They're too fire hazardy. I just want to see what's under here. I think it's going to be a flip chip. If you have trouble getting the heat sink off, don't fight with it, because you can. Oh, it's gold-banded BGA. That's nice. Don't fight with it, because if you pull the chip off the board, it lowers the value. That's a flip chip. So that's this morning's spiel. I hope you enjoyed. I am a little bit tired. I didn't get any sleep last night. I took 2 Advil before I went to bed, and I think this brand must have had caffeine in it, because I was tired. I was up. Matter of fact, I went on to Scorpion Metals Live, and they're like, "Isn't it past your bedtime?" I'm like, "Well past my bedtime. I'm usually 4 hours of sleep by now." Couldn't sleep. That'll catch up with me this afternoon. So, oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Otera. Ontario. Yeah, no, glad to share. That's what it's for. And I will see you guys soon. I may wind up, if I don't get live, I'll get a video up. Like this will be repeated in the video. I'll upload it later. And yeah. Do you repair the boards or look for things that might have the boards, and do you sell them? Yes, I sell boards. But I only sell them from things that I could test. Like if I get a whole unit, I'll test that, and something like that. But generally speaking, I try to resell it. Then I try to take the parts and resell those. Then I scrap it, take the components off, and sell them whole. Like these were Xeon chips that I've got. I've got a whole bunch of them, and I'll sell those whole. All right. I know I'm hemming and hawing this morning. I am tired, but Looks like it's going to be a nice day. I've got to go do my instrument deliveries. I've got a lot of repair orders to pick up and take care of, and I want to wish everybody well. Have a nice day. Keep an eye out. OTD should be either on or coming on very shortly. I think his new handle is Scrapaholic. Anything you want to know about scrapping, there's the man to watch, let me tell you. All right, have a great day. God in heaven bless each one of you, and see you soon. Sunday, usually between 9 and 11, is my live. Bye-bye.